Hello, Airbus Cockpit Coach here, and welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the change in Airbus standard operating procedure when it comes to which engine we start first. A few months ago that changed from being engine number 2 to engine number 1. So we'll dive in and take a look at the reasons why that change was made. But we do so, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and give the video a like. There was variation in stop out there before. Some airlines still elected to start engine 1 first. A large majority started engine 2 first, and obviously when it comes to single engine taxi, engine 1 is started first on the Airbus. So there was a lot of variation happening out there between airlines and different circumstances as per each flight. That in turn created a risk to ground crew. So the ground crew couldn't always be sure which engine is going to be started first. Whilst that is communicated, there are risks associated with that, miscommunication, and Airbus have obviously risk assessed this change and determined that it's more sensible from a risk point of view to start engine 1 first rather than engine 2. The reason engine 2 was started first previously was that it powers the yellow system on the hydraulics, so we'll dive in here and take a look. So the yellow system provides park brake pressure and also supplies pressure to the brake accumulator, which ensures that's always charged up, ready to go. Now if we push back and ensure we have adequate accumulator pressure, which we will do, we've got about 7 applications of pressure there, which is more than sufficient to stop the aircraft if we need to. So that's available to us, and if we needed to recharge the accumulator before we push back, which we do as part of our checks anyway, we come up and we press the electric hydraulic pump on the yellow system up here. So currently with no pressure going in, we can discharge the accumulator, so by making applications of pressure. So if I just release the parking brake now and press the brakes, you'll see that the pressure does drop. A restricted number of applications we can make. I'll just put the park brake back on. Anytime you're pushing back, you want to be sure that you have that accumulator pressure. That's really important with this new process. So electric hydraulic pump comes back on and you can see the system recharges. Got pressure there on the yellow system provided by the electric pump, which also transfers via the PTU onto the green system. There we go, system's charged. So there is of course an argument to say that, well, that's less safe from a braking point of view. We're pushing back before that engine is started. We have a limited amount of braking resource available to us. I have to say, in my 14 years of flying the Airbus, I have not had to expend more than my accumulated brake pressure in any scenario, so it is a reasonable change to make, and obviously the risks of getting close to engines around the aircraft are also greatly dangerous, and I imagine incidents and near misses that occur, Airbus collect this kind of data and they can see where risks are coming from and where risks aren't being generated, and it's important to always review risk and make changes accordingly. That's how the aviation industry adapts and evolves and is as safe as it is today. But in terms of the engine start procedure itself, there's no great change other than we are selecting engine 1 first. So we'd come down, we select engine start, we verify that we have no amber indications on our engine displays. That's all looking good, and once we're happy, park brake set, idle throttle, beacon on of course, we would start engine 1. So starting engine 1 means that we're going to have primary braking available to us more immediately. It also means that we're already starting the correct engine for the single engine taxi scenario. And with this change now, which you may have noticed in the real world if you're flying around as a passenger, engine 1 is generally started, and it's familiar to the ground crew. They know that engine starting, they know that that's the order. and can stay well clear of that during the pushback and start process. So we've got engine 1 started now. We can come down to the hydraulic page and just take a look at our status. So green system is being powered. This means that we have primary braking. So if I was to release the parking brake now, you'll see the brake pressure come off on the bottom. And hold it on the toe brakes. And I'm now going to pump the brakes, and we shouldn't see any change because primary braking is in effect. So we're not using the accumulator. Parking brake back on. You'll see as we apply the parking brake, the accumulator pressure drops. So the accumulator is not being recharged at this stage. So that is a risk and something to be aware of. Obviously, in the normal course of action, engines 2 we started pretty much immediately after engine 1. Therefore, the time this risk exists for is very minimal and is likely to usually only have one application of parking brake. So in summary, the reason why this has been done is for ground crew safety and familiarisation with which engine is going to be started first across the Airbus A320 fleet. There are some very minor considerations to consider with hydraulic pressure and braking, primarily the park brake and accumulator pressure to take into account and be aware of, and make sure you do have that accumulator pressure before you push back. If you have any questions on that at all, please drop them into the comments and I'll do my best to answer those. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest content. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.